Alright everyone, it turns out we've got some craziness going on right now on Global, and as you guys can see, we are in the middle of maintenance right now at the time of me recording this video, waiting very patiently for the servers to go back online, but there is something pretty interesting that has been discovered, and it has to do with the release notes for this week's update. Now, at first glance here, I went through and I took a look, and it doesn't really seem like there was anything too new or too crazy compared to the early release notes, which we ended up getting yesterday, so it didn't really seem like it was worth making a video talking about this sort of stuff, but turns out that's not the case, and this craziness has to do with the description for Mono, and I can easily see how many people missed this. I myself missed it as well. It took me a couple times to go over and actually see that the description that Netmarble is giving us for the global version of Mono is quite a bit different than the description for the JP version. And it specifically has to do with her unique. So if we scroll down here, you could see increases the hero's damage dealt by 50% per bleeding, poisoned, and shock debuff when attacking enemies with said debuffs. Now, just as a comparison here, I want to show you guys the description for the JP version of Mono's passive. Increases damage dealt by 50% if attacking enemies with bleed, poison, or shock debuffs. Now, there is a huge difference. Even though the words seem kind of the same, there is a massive difference between these two descriptions here. The JP version is 50% additional damage if you are attacking enemies that have bleed, poison, or shock, but it's only 50% damage, and it's not more than 50% damage. Whereas if you take a look here at the Netmarble global version of this description, it's 50% additional damage per bleeding, poison, or shock, which means you can get quite a bit more than that the more of them that they have. And this is absolute insanity right here. Now, it turns out that this could be a mistranslation. We know that Netmarble has done this before in the past, but either way, there's really two sides of the coin here. There's two things that could be a result of this, and it's either a mistranslation where Mono's passive is quite simply the same as it is on the JP version, and it's just a flat-out 50% increase with bleed, poison, or shock, or it's actually a massive buff, in which case it really does make sense for Mono to be on her own step-up banner, and I'm gonna really have to take a look at this to see which one of these it is, whether to summon on the banner or not. Now, the problem is, though, no matter which side of the coin that this tale ends up being, whether it is a mistranslation or whether it is a crazy buff, you know, even if it is a mistranslation, this is something that absolutely needs to be fixed and addressed immediately, because this is not one of those borderline situations where, you know, you might think that a unit is better based on a mistranslation. It's pretty clear here that, you know, this translation obviously makes Mono much better. So if it turns out that, you know, it's released and this is actually what the unique reads and it's not what it does, that's a whole big story on its own. So this is definitely something really worth getting into here, and I'm absolutely going to see when the servers go back up, and let me know, especially if you guys are watching this video later on in the day. Obviously, I'm recording this during maintenance. It'll probably be uploaded sometime during maintenance, maybe right afterwards, but later on in the day, let me know if you guys have actually found out the answer to this puzzle right here. Was it a mistranslation, or was Mono actually buffed, and maybe she's actually going to be insane on the global version of the game? I mean, if this is actually true, and she gives 50% additional damage per bleeding, poison, or shock, that is a game changer of a difference compared to the JP version of this passive. And man, this is really interesting. I mean, we've seen global do things differently for sure, including Mono being on her own step-up banner, no Easton. A lot of people were caught off guard by that, but if she actually has a different passive compared to JP Mono, well, that's a whole different story right there. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, especially considering I am making this video during the maintenance, so we don't actually know the answer to this right now. But I wanted to quickly go over some of the other stuff as well, because this week right here, you know, we really do know most of the stuff from the early release notes. There's not really a whole lot going on, and it makes sense because we are still in the part 1 of the half anniversary celebration. That stuff is all going to be going on until the 15th. That is when most, if not all, of the part 1 celebration events are going to end. But there's still some stuff that was added here. Obviously, this is the really big deal here. Now, if we take a look at the actual banner itself, it is going to be a step-up banner. And I know there's some additional goodies here that are added, you know, for the milestone rewards, or the loyalty rewards, I believe is what they're called. You can see, just like the original character step-ups that we have had in the past, it's going to be 242 gems to do all 10 steps, because on step number 2 and step number 7 here, you're going to end up getting a 1 gem multi. So you've only got 8 multis that you have to do at the full price, 30 gems each. That's 240 plus the 2 gems from the 2 gem multis, 242 gems. You're going to get a guaranteed SSR on step 5. Obviously, it's not mono, but it's just going to be a guaranteed SSR from the actual pool. And then mono, of course, will be guaranteed on pull number 10 right there. So this banner here is a 2-week banner as well. So that's important to keep in mind if you guys are considering summoning. And, you know, if you guys are asking me the question, am I going to summon or not? I was originally thinking about it for sure. I was not 100% though. But now with this, you know, craziness going on with her unique, you know, especially if it turns out to actually be true, I'm going to be very, very tempted to go for it now. I still probably would have gone for it just for collection purposes and also because of the milestone rewards here as well, or the loyalty rewards. So you can see there's just some additional goodies that you end up getting if you decide to go for mono. And, of course, you do end up having to do more than 1 full rotation if you want to get absolutely everything. They make it a little bit sneaky here because, of course, you know, it's 10 loyalty points per step-up draw. That means that a full rotation is 100 loyalty points because you've got 10 steps. And you can see the rewards here. You've got 50 loyalty points, so that's 5 multis that you have to get those 3 SSR pendants. 8 multis in order to get those 10 5-star Awakening Stones. You got to do 11 multis to get the anvils. So you have to do a full rotation plus 1, but you're probably going to do plus 2 because that second one is going to be a 1 gem multi anyway, right? So, you know, Netmarble's got this all figured out right here. They know how to do this to get you to do as many summons as possible. And then, of course, if you end up going for the hammers, that's 14 multis, but there's a good chance that you're going to end up going for the 15th one for that guaranteed SSR. So, you know, I'm still kind of on the fence a bit. I'm not 100%, but definitely much more likely to summon after figuring out about this craziness going on than I was before. So, taking a look, though, everything else does seem to be identical to the database version of the descriptions. So, you know, sever damage, which is crit chance, and you also have her poison, 60% additional damage at the end of every turn. It's 3 turns, 150%, 225, 375% right there. She does have a bleed on her ultimate though. 455% is the starting multiplier right there, and it goes up to 683% if you end up getting her 6 out of 6. I don't know how many of you guys, if any, are going to be going for 6 out of 6. Maybe if the passive is different than it is on the JP version, but you know, if it's what we see right here and it's just 50% extra damage with bleed, poison, or shock, mono is not considered to be one of the most powerful units in the game. You know, if you guys are a collector and you want to go for it anyway, that's a different story right there. But this is definitely one of the banners where you can comfortably feel like skipping out on until we know a bit more about this mystery right here, though. That's kind of the topic of discussion right now. So anyway, just wanted to go over. Besides that, you know, we got some costumes coming back as well. So if you guys are looking at opportunity for that right there, that'll be happening. And the week 2 September event schedule is also out. But I wanted to go over this. I felt like it was important. I feel like it's a pretty interesting discussion to have here. So let me know what you guys think about all this. And with that being said, that's going to be it for the video. So if you guys enjoyed, you want more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. We're getting really close to 10,000 now, which is absolutely insane. So thank you so much, everyone. If you want to help out as well, tossing a quick like means more than you can imagine. And more Grand Cross Global videos should be popping up on the screen right about now, or in the suggested videos to your right or below. More than 150 guides, tutorials, and all that fun stuff on the channel. Feel free to check them out. If not, have a great day, everyone. Take care. And this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.